An FSD skeptic just test drove a Model Y and says not only will he buy the car, but he will definitely be getting FSD with it. I'm talking about James here. This is actually quite a big moment because James has been quite a big critic and he never holds himself back. So if he thinks that something is not good, he will definitely say it about Tesla or FSD, but yet all I see here is largely just praise. The test drive felt great, the car drives very smoothly, felt buttery, at least from my reference point. He used to drive a Nissan and a BMW, and he just tried a Model Y. The road noise was low, the sound system was great, it was very comfortable to drive, and I think the new interior looks amazing. And then FSD, which it drove him everywhere for 30 minutes basically, and it handled difficult things like left turns at busy intersections with low visibility to oncoming traffic and tight double parked vehicles. Very well, he says. He's not criticizing it at all here. The maneuvers felt very human-like, no safety issues. I did have to disengage only because I drive much more aggressively than FSD is willing to drive, even on hurry mode. I think for most people, it's certainly good enough. However, I do agree, later he talks about stop signs. That's the main thing that he didn't like. The stop signs took a bit more time because it's a full actual stop, which most people do not do. And another thing, at least on the current version that I'm on, and this wasn't an issue before, when the light turns green at a traffic light, it takes a little bit longer than how long I would like it to take to start moving. So sometimes I just give it a nudge with my accelerator pedal and that basically solves it, but it's not really an issue. Overall, he says, I was thoroughly impressed. Acceleration felt very good, but I will probably wait for the Performance Model Y before pulling the trigger. I like the kick of the Legacy Performance Model Y that I test drove better. Again, just my preference. This car is plenty fast enough for the vast majority of people. It's definitely fast enough for most of the people. Great experience overall. Staff are accommodating and friendly, that's always good to hear. And then he continues by saying, I will definitely be buying or subscribing to FSD. So that's definitely a bombshell here. It will depend on whether I buy or lease. It's something that needs to be experienced to really understand the convenience and utility of it. I have friends that used to hate FSD and they actually purchased FSD before and they never used it, and now they are actually really liking it. They use it on every single longer drive. James continues, I am trying to think about this practically and objectively. I am sure about one thing: Tesla has not yet found a way to monetize it to anywhere close to its potential. What is the potential? That's a function of how well it works, how safe it is on a fleet-wide basis. Does it make me more bullish from an investing perspective? A little. But I still need to see evidence that it can drive this well over thousands of kilometers and miles consistently. And from my personal experience, I can assure James, whatever he experienced, that's the normal, regular experience that I experience every day when I drive my Tesla. The issue is not that FSD is bad, it's that the bar it needs to hurdle is so high. Certainly the bar is very high, but today it's actually really useful, and I dread just the idea of not using FSD on a longer drive. For example, if I had to use someone else's car, even if the car was nicer, I would not like the idea of driving without FSD. But James, Mr. Cat, has finally woken up. Only took half a decade. Kathy Wood actually reiterated her 5-year Tesla stock price target of $2,600. This was published on Bloomberg. And historically speaking, if you look at Tesla's biggest jumps in the long term, when you compare all mainstream big analysts managing a lot of money, Kathy Wood historically has been the person to predict what Tesla stock was actually going to do correctly, or in the least wrong way. However, looking at her other predictions about other stocks, but Tesla stock, if you look at the long term, what she predicted years ago, these are pretty good predictions. So Kathy Wood remains a huge bull. Now, in the meantime, Barclays cut their Tesla stock price target for the next 12 months from $325 to $275. Barclays lowered the firm's price target on Tesla and keeps an equal weight rating on the shares. So they are saying, do not buy, but also do not sell. Okay, well, let's see what else do they say. The share setup into Tesla's Q1 results is confusing, but there is potential for the stock to outperform. Tesla faces questions on increasingly weaker fundamentals, and its Q1 auto margin, excluding credits, is expected to reach a new low, the analyst tells investors in a research note. The firm believes it will be increasingly difficult for Tesla to achieve volume growth in 2025. However, Barclays also sees potential for Elon Musk to be increasingly re-engaged with the company. And they believe that the launch of unsupervised and driverless full self-driving in Austin in June could drive incremental excitement about Tesla. The good narrative could outweigh weak fundamentals. Okay, well, I have to disagree with a comment about weak fundamentals. I would say the fundamentals in the long term are extremely strong because I believe that Tesla will solve full self-driving, making it safer than human driving. And if you believe that is the case, then you would say the fundamentals are strong because Tesla is going to be the first company that is going to scale that sort of solution. Everything else really is irrelevant unless you also consider the Tesla bot. And if you like the Tesla bot, then that's even bigger than FSD. But excluding the Tesla bot, nothing else really matters for Tesla's future, for Tesla stock to rally in an unprecedented way. And by that, really, I mean in a precedented way, as in it stays flat for many, many years and then it just goes up 5-10 times in a short period of time. And look, as an investor, I actually really like seeing this from Tesla, and we have been seeing this from Tesla regularly, very often actually. It feels almost not quite daily, but anytime I look at what Tesla is posting or what Elon Musk is posting, it almost feels like every time I check, they are saying, no, the thing that we said about Robotaxis in June, yeah, it is still happening in Austin this year. We are not delaying it, which I would say is a very good sign because typically Tesla delays everything. Not actually, but it can feel like that some of the time. And certainly with FSD. With FSD, even big updates always or often there were delays, major delays in some cases. But we are now, let's say, 2 months away from the middle of June. And yeah, Tesla is still posting that it's still happening in June as earlier announced. Now, to be very fair, in this specific post, Tesla did not mention a date, but in all other posts, we have been seeing the dates, and Elon Musk just a few days ago posted that it is happening in June. So while it's still definitely possible that there could be a delay, it's not very likely. Now, in China, FSD rollout actually has been halted due to new requirements. Tesla China has completed regulatory filings. FSD rollout to hardware 3 and hardware 4 vehicles is set to start soon, possibly before April 25th, so really just in about 1 week. But below is a report basically from a Chinese regulatory body saying that some domestic automakers are overhyping the capabilities of their intelligent driving systems. And just to be clear, FSD rollout in China has been halted for all automakers. This is not a Tesla specific thing. Oh, and check this out. False marketing to overhype ADAS capabilities in China may lead up to 2 years in prison. In China, there has been a recent rise in traffic accidents caused by the misuse of driver assistance systems. Some people even fall asleep. I don't think this is aimed at Tesla because with Tesla, if you look away from the road, oh, you're gonna get a warning really soon. You can't trick the system really. And we all love seeing posts from Elon that are like this: Tesla self-driving is amazing. He's promoting Tesla, which is always great to see. At this point, there is absolutely no doubt that Tesla is definitely actively trying to enter the Indian market. We are seeing Tesla Model Ys literally in India, and not just one. You can see one here, and then there's another one over there. If Tesla doesn't make significantly cheaper cars, India is not going to be a large market for Tesla, but it's still an addition to Tesla sales. There's a big channel that reviews vehicles. It's called CarWow. And Sawyer here says, despite the new Model Y winning in nearly every category in this video, price, performance, storage, handling, charging, range, Matt from CarWow says the BYD vehicle wins. I've watched his reviews for almost 10 years, says Sawyer, and he has been very objective in the past, but the bias against Tesla is pretty clear in this video. I watched at least 30 to 50 videos from this channel, and I have found his videos to be pretty good. So I'm really curious what is going on here. Let's take a look. It's actually quite surprising.
I don't know if it's just me and I'm some kind of idiot. Yeah, it probably is that. But I just don't get on with these door handles. I'm never sure how to like open them. And sometimes as well, they like if you've opened it like this and if you shut it like that, they tend to like bounce open again. Look. Maybe I'm just doing it all wrong. I mean, you shouldn't have to do it two-handed, right? I've just looked online and found out how you're supposed to do it. So you do this. But that's like 2 steps. Why don't I just go there for the handle and pull it? Why do I have to go there and there? Then it begs the question of why have that bit then? What's that bit for? Is that just to like trick me? Now, I was a bit worried these were going to be like Mercedes door handles. I just don't get on with them at all. They're weird to operate and they feel horrible to use as well. But with these, you just press that, they pop out, and then they just act like a nice, easy to use door handle. Much better, and none of that nonsense like with the Tesla. Also,
this is a comment below his video, deliberately holding the car handle in the open position whilst pretending to close, letting it go last second and letting the door bounce was obviously done for the cameras to make Tesla look bad. He's inventing a problem that doesn't exist. I've had a Tesla vehicle for years. I have friends with Tesla vehicles for years. I've never heard anyone even mention this sort of issue ever before. And this never happened to me a single time, because when you open the door, you close it, you're not keeping the latch open. To close the door while holding the latch, that's actually extremely inconvenient, because you're pushing it back and the handle, it sort of moves and it wants to go all the way back in there. So you're sort of digging against your fingers. Why would anyone do something that stupid? And here's a clear display that everything works fine. This is me closing my own door. And then this obviously jumps out to me. You need 2 steps to open the Tesla door. Okay, I agree. That's not the most convenient design ever, certainly. That's fair. Then goes on to BYD, presses a button, which actually takes longer, because when you press a button, you need to wait a little bit. So there's a delay of a few milliseconds there. And then after that, opens the door with a handle. So Tesla is bad because of 2 steps to open the door, but BYD with 2 steps to open the door is good. Anyway, there are quite a few comments here. Matt Watson has driven plenty of Teslas and even bought his mother one. That is true. I have seen that. He just thinks making a bad stuff about Tesla is a cool thing to do right now. And look, if you think I'm cherry picking comments here, check this out. This is the very top of the comment section. This is the pinned comment, so this doesn't count. The first comment here is criticizing Matt Watson. The second comment is literally about the door issue. Man, nobody closes the car door using the door handle in real life. Just push the door and close it like a normal person. This is literally the third comment from the top if you ignore the pinned comment. The fifth comment from the top. Sorry, Matt, but this review was horrible, biased, and full of errors, and the whole discussion about the range is a big fail and just an embarrassment. They actually seems like there was some editing done there after the video was posted. I'm not quite sure about that, but I read quite a few more comments and it appears to be that way. And I have never quite seen anything like this. Literally his own audience. Look, every single comment at the top is negative. This one, highly negative. Literally, the number one comment at the top says, I never give videos a thumbs down, but this time I had to. It seems paid to me. Second comment, negative. Third comment, negative. Fourth comment, negative. Fifth comment, negative. Comment number 6, also negative. I'm Matt Watson and you're watching BYD. Wow. Comment number 7, negative. Comment number 8, negative. Saying CarWow completely botched the range calculations. They then concluded that BYD was the winner, mostly based on a longer range. When viewers pointed out their mistake, they edited out all the misinformation about range. After you publish a video on YouTube, you can actually trim out segments, and it seems like that's what they have done. The comment continues, including a table showing the incorrect result of the range calculation, which was based on a very flawed methodology anyway, and the section where they mentioned range prominently in their conclusion, but left their verdict the same. I demand a recount. I volunteer to be there to make sure Tesla gets treated fairly this time. So then the next comment is negative, and then negative also. The verdict is bizarre. Worse to drive, less efficient, slower, less luggage space, and more expensive. And yet, it won. Here are the next comments after that. I did not skip any comments. The conclusion is really strange. Looks like a BYD advert, despite Tesla winning most of Matt's comparisons here. Okay, I'm still not skipping a single comment, and I am not finding a single positive comment. Comments are like this: paid sponsor video, unsubscribe, by Matt Watson. Lost me at the handles. You have to be a moron to struggle with the door. I have not yet found a single positive comment. Actually, let me rephrase that. I have not found a single neutral comment even. I'm still scrolling down. I am literally trying to find a comment that's at least not negative. So I'm not skipping any comments, and I have yet to find even a neutral comment. All of them are just negative. I have never seen anything quite like this. I mean, usually you would at least see people from the other political spectrum jump in and defend, but I'm not seeing that here. It's just all negative. Still scrolling down, still haven't found a single neutral comment. All of them are just overwhelmingly negative. But I don't want to give up. I want to find at least one neutral comment, at least not even a positive, neutral comment. Okay, still going down, still nothing. This is the least bad comment I found so far. A month ago, nobody knew anything about tariffs. Suddenly, everyone's an expert. And how many comments down was it? I'm going to count right now. So just counted. It's 51 comments down. And even that comment, I think it's negative. But you can make an argument, maybe it's not. Look, I counted really quick, so maybe I made a mistake. Maybe it's like number 50, but it's, wow. I am so amazed by this. Seeing a bunch of negative comments about your own video on your own channel. It's only negative, all negative. That only happens when the person really messes up. And look, this is often when you see negative comments on someone's videos, it's from someone who watched the video for the first time and hasn't seen other videos from the channel, and they're just not familiar with the creator. But in this case, look, this guy says, I see CarWow typically as the go-to place for objective reviews and conclusions. While the comparisons clearly mean that the result was a clear win for the Model Y, Matt Watson's conclusion had nothing to do with the Model Y being better and everything to do with how he feels about Elon and Tesla. I thought Matt Watson would be able to rise above this, but no. Lost lots of respect for CarWow here. Next comment after that, that's got to be the most biased CarWow video I have ever watched. Clearly, the Tesla is way better. I expected better from this channel. And it looks like they modified the video more. Well, why is nobody talking about the verdict? The editor straight up cut it in the verdict. He said the BYD won. I found quite a few comments saying something along the lines of, this is such an obvious BYD sponsored video, embarrassing. Okay, this has to be the first actually positive comment, and I'm down, feels like 100 comments down. And I do agree, this comment is actually it's pretty good. It's pretty funny. If you watch the video, it's funny. But I've never seen anything like this. You need to go down. I don't know, you can count. Feels like 100 comments to me to find the first positive comment. Maybe it was more like 75, 80 comments, but it's a lot. I just sorted the comments by most recent comments. And here you can see a bit of a mix. For example, someone calling Tesla's poop, basically. So you do see some support for Matt Watson here, but not really support. These are just people that by default absolutely despise and hate Teslas. But even here, most comments are basically saying that he lost credibility or something along those lines, calling the review trash. But overwhelmingly, if you just look at which comments appear at the top, oh wow. I've never seen anything like this. James here is complaining that the ramp of the Model Y in the US is slow. However, I see evidence on the contrary. Production of the Model Y in Giga, Texas seems to be ramping well with about 70 cars per hour rate at this moment. Based on an 11-hour daily schedule and 4 production days per week for now, that is the range of about 3,000 to 3,500 vehicles per week, which has not reached the high mark of 5,000 weekly, last seen about a year ago, but it's certainly great progress. So I wouldn't call the ramp slow actually in this case. Tesla posted this image of Dojo supercomputers, Dojo Trains FSD, and it's all designed in-house. Tesla literally said, quiet please, the machines are learning. Tesla is doing some discounting on the Cybertruck. Tesla is now offering discounts up to 10,500 off, up from 6,000 before, and these are not discounts on demo vehicles. However, 2025 model year Cybertrucks that currently do qualify for the federal $7,500 EV tax credit do not offer any inventory discounts. According to 2 Tesla workers speaking with, I believe that's Business Insider, but Business Insider, when it comes to Tesla, credibility is pretty low. They are very biased against Tesla, so take this with a grain of salt. But they say the automaker has reduced its Cybertruck production teams and now operates at a fraction of its original capacity. This is funny. Swedish unions upset after Tesla opens 2 new superchargers. Just imagine being upset that things are being done faster and more cost effectively. Oh, I think Sawyer meant to say 2 new locations because it's about 36 new supercharging stalls. So it's not just 2 superchargers, it's 2 supercharging locations. Oh, check this out. Rivian's US sales fell from 11,950 units in Q1 of 2024 to now only, well, not only, but it's significantly lower, 9,100 units in Q1 2025. I personally believe that Tesla stock is going to $1,000 per share, and then after that, well above it. But there is one investment that I'm telling my younger brothers to make, which is not Tesla stock, and that is investing in themselves. And my younger brothers, who are twins, who are teenagers, they are asking me how I'm doing numbers like this, and I'm going to teach them everything I know about money during an event that I will be doing in Texas. Is going to be a 2-day event in May, in the beginning of May, and everyone else is also welcome to come to that event. There's a link down below to sign up if you'd like to come. And the next video I will be releasing probably on Monday. I'm also posting all my videos on Rumble now, so if you prefer Rumble, go ahead and watch my videos over there instead. There's going to be a link down in the comments to my Rumble account as well. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you soon.